It's the 23rd of the month. You got paid 4 days ago, and somehow your checking account already looks like it survived a car crash. You didn't buy anything crazy, no vacation, no new TV, just life. Coffee here. A grocery run that somehow came out $50 higher than you planned. A subscription you forgot you were still paying for. Maybe dinner with friends because you deserved a break after a stressful week. And now you're sitting there staring at your banking app, doing that thing where you refresh the screen like the number is somehow going to change if you believe hard enough. Sound familiar? Yeah. I thought so. Here's the thing. If you've ever felt like you're the only adult who can't seem to save money, I want you to stop blaming yourself for just a minute, because you're far from alone. According to the Federal Reserve, a large percentage of Americans would struggle to cover an unexpected $1,000 expense using savings alone. Millions of people live paycheck to paycheck, even people making decent incomes. Yet every financial guru online seems to tell the same story. Stop buying coffee. Have more discipline. Just budget better. As if one latte is secretly standing between you and becoming a millionaire. Look, if building wealth were really that simple, coffee shops would be empty. Clearly something else is happening. The uncomfortable truth is that your biggest financial enemy isn't your income. It isn't inflation. It isn't even your spending habits. It's your brain. And ironically, your brain thinks it's helping you. Today, I want to explain why saving money feels so unbelievably difficult, why it's not entirely your fault, and what actually works instead. Because once you understand how your brain is wired, saving money stops feeling like an impossible battle and starts feeling like a problem you can finally solve. Let's imagine someone named Jake. Jake isn't irresponsible. He has a full-time job. He pays his bills. He knows what an emergency fund is. He's watched videos about investing. He's downloaded budgeting apps more times than he can count. Every payday, he tells himself exactly the same thing. This month, I'm saving $300. Then life starts happening. His coworkers invite him out for lunch. Amazon emails him about a limited time sale. His streaming subscriptions renew. His grocery bill is higher than expected. His dog needs a trip to the vet. Before Jake even realizes what's happening, it's the last week of the month, and that $300 he planned to save has quietly disappeared. Not on one giant purchase, just 100 tiny ones. Most people think Jake failed because he lacks discipline. That's where they're wrong. Jake doesn't have an information problem, he has a biology problem. See? Your brain wasn't designed for savings accounts. It wasn't designed for retirement. It wasn't designed for index funds or mortgages or credit scores. Your brain evolved over hundreds of thousands of years in a world where surviving tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. Imagine you're one of our ancestors walking across the savannah. You finally find fruit growing on a tree. Does your brain tell you to save it for next month? Of course not. It tells you to eat it immediately because tomorrow someone else might find it first. Maybe another human, maybe an animal, maybe the fruit spoils overnight. Immediate rewards kept us alive. Delayed rewards often didn't. The problem is that evolution works incredibly slowly. Our environment changed dramatically over the last few hundred years. Our brains didn't. So today, instead of chasing food, we're chasing flash sales, online shopping, food delivery apps, and one-click purchases. The reward changed, but the wiring stayed exactly the same. Psychologists call this present bias. It's one of the strongest psychological biases ever discovered. Your brain consistently places far more value on rewards you can get right now than rewards you'll receive later. Here's a simple experiment. Imagine I offered you $100 today or $110 tomorrow. Surprisingly, many people choose the $100 immediately. But now imagine I ask whether you'd rather receive $100 exactly 1 year from today or $110 1 year and 1 day from today. Suddenly, almost everyone waits the extra day. The reward barely changed. The waiting time barely changed. The only thing that changed was how close today felt. That's how powerful present bias really is. This is exactly why buying something today feels exciting while saving for retirement feels, honestly, kind of boring. Your future self feels like a stranger. Retirement sounds like something that happens to someone else. But a new pair of shoes arriving tomorrow. That feels real. That feels exciting. And companies know this better than anyone. Have you ever wondered why Amazon invented one-click ordering? Or why Apple Pay lets you buy something by tapping your phone once? Or why almost every shopping app saves your credit card information forever? It's because every extra second you spend thinking increases the chance you'll decide not to buy. Every extra click gives your logical brain an opportunity to wake up. Companies spend billions of dollars removing every tiny bit of friction between you and spending money. They don't want you thinking, they want you reacting. Notice how almost every sale has a countdown timer. Only 2 left. Sale ends tonight. Limited stock. Mavet, these messages aren't really about inventory. They're about urgency. They're designed to wake up that ancient part of your brain that hates missing opportunities. Thousands of years ago, missing an opportunity to find food could actually be dangerous. Today, missing a 20% discount on headphones changes absolutely nothing. But your brain still reacts as though something important is slipping away. And that's only the first trap. The second trap is something called decision fatigue. Think about everything you've already decided today. What time to wake up, what clothes to wear, what to eat for breakfast, whether to answer that email now or later, whether to go to the gym after work, whether to respond to that group chat. Most people make hundreds, sometimes thousands of decisions every single day. Every single one uses a tiny amount of mental energy. Researchers discovered something fascinating while studying parole judges. Early in the day, judges approved parole requests much more often. As they continued making decisions throughout the day, approval rates dropped dramatically. Then, after a meal break, approval rates suddenly increased again before slowly falling once more. Same judges, same laws, similar cases. The biggest difference wasn't the prisoners, it was the judge's mental energy. Now think about your own life. By 9 o'clock at night, you've worked all day, answered messages, dealt with traffic, solved problems, made decisions, and probably stared at a screen for hours. Then you open Instagram. An ad appears. Wireless earbuds, 40% off, today only. Are you making that decision with the same brain you had at 9 in the morning? Not even close. Your mental battery is almost empty. Saying no requires effort. Buying something takes almost none. One tap, done. Imagine your willpower as your phone battery. When you wake up, you're sitting at 100%. Every decision drains 102%. By the evening, you're in low power mode with 10% left. Now imagine asking your phone to edit a 4K movie while it's almost dead. It struggles, not because it's a bad phone, but because it doesn't have enough energy left. Your brain works exactly the same way. The problem isn't that you're weak. The problem is that you're trying to make your hardest financial decisions when your brain has the least energy available.